action on contracts for LPRF grant for the redevelopment of Garrison Park. You want to leave that one, Mr. Manager?
Not really, but I will. There's been discussion on some of the requirements of the grant, whether we had, how we should carry them out, or whether we had to carry them out. And for the most part, we are irrevocably tied to doing those portions that were part of the grant contract. There is some flexibility as far as some of the sidewalks and some of the issues with fencing. It doesn't make sense that we have to take the fence down and then we can turn around and put it back up. But apparently that's the way the state does business. That's why we're local government. And then also has some flexibility on the multi-purpose field that would allow it to maintain some of the characteristics to be used as a ball field. We did find that we had that much flexibility, which were a couple of the points. But pretty much the rest of the grant we are going to have to proceed forward with.
I've got it on pretty good authority that they will use common sense in our discussion requests on the fence. And we did send a letter in reference to that to get the ball rolling as per our requests. And it only makes sense if you're playing basketball and the ball rolls down there. It's without we get the road, that's not good.
Yeah, my big concern is on West, where that's a highway. Yeah. Where people are driving fast and not expected.
Mayor, I think we ought to let the city attorney review this grant application and get back to us and refer this to the next meeting if we could. I'd like to make a motion to do that.
For the purposes of discussion, I'll second it.
What would you like reviewed?
To see what exactly we have to do as far as, it's a $1.7 million project the way I understand it now. You can take $1 million and do a lot of good for that side of town for the youth and adults. But if we go with what we're being told on this grant right now, we're going to do it their way or the highway. We can do it how we wanted to do it if all this is true and he can tell us this, I'm sure.
What's our, we've done everything up to this point to meet their specific timeframes?
Yes, we have. We had,
what's the next?
the next step is to begin the design, but the contract is executed, the first pay request has gone in.
So we've already executed this?
Yes. As per the resolution that was passed, the city attorney agreed that it was.
In the 7 different public meetings, and this discussion started a long time ago. I don't understand why we wait to the very end on projects to decide to not do them, and why you would even apply if you don't want to proceed with the plan that was put together to start with. So the motion on the floor is to delay anything until our next meeting, which is about 3 weeks.
We're going to have another work session,
For the budget.
probably in the next week or 2.
So then, how y'all do tonight?
That would probably wrap it up.
Mayor, I think the reason that that we're questioning this, the city manager's questioning the fence, I was questioning the field day, is because we wasn't told all this on the front end when we done the investigation. I was at one of the meetings right before a council meeting, and this is all of what discussed. So I'd like to know what the city.
We're going to be able to keep field A.
Huh?
We're not going to have to take the ball down and out, and then there's discussion about.
Here we are too. It's
No, that's in another phase. It's not covered by this, right? Field A stays just like it is.
I still like to let the city attorney do this and tell us what our legal ramifications
We have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Graham, Councilmember Wyatt,
are.
Councilmember Shanks,
No.
Mayor Mayberry.
No. Due to a tie, then the motion carries. Is that
But it fails.
failed? So now we're back to further discussion.
We're just going with the way it was.
So what?
Or just going with the way it was.
Do we not have to approve or discuss the,
We need the
there's a
contract
budget amendment here as well.
with us and with community development partners.
And so you would need to approve the contract and the budget amendment. The contract they need to approve is with the designer.
Lawson Associates
And
and
community development partners.
make a motion to approve the contract with Community Development Partners, Lawson Associates, and the necessary budget amendment for this process.
That was the motion.
Yes.
I'll second.
Motion and a second on that. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Graham,
Pass.
Councilmember Wyatt,
No.
Councilmember Shanks,
Aye.
Mayor Mayberry,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Graham,
I abstain.
Motion passes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is discussion and action on the Centennial Park splash pad.
Do you want to take this, Mr. Councilman Wyatt, or do you want me to take it?
I'll do this. This is one of the reasons I'd like to defer that to see what I'd like to make a motion that we accept RFQ or RFPs on a splash pad over there that was approved last year. And for the amount of up to $250,000 and see what we get back. And then I'll make a comment if that gets accepted.
For the purposes of discussion, I'll make a second.
I have a motion and a second to request RFPs for a splash pad at Centennial Park. This, and for discussion, this, what was the previous motion that was made? Was to request this?
You already had gotten RFPs on a splash pad and you awarded it to Hartford and Roberts, but they have never brought back a contract. I think the city manager is recommending rescinding that action and getting RFPs on a design build splash pad.
What was the price on
They never brought a contract back for a proposal to do the design. They met with Steve Hill and that was the last we ever saw.
From the research we've done is a lot of these splash pad folks do design builds. So you tell them, we want to spend X number of dollars,
that?
and this is, bring us a proposal of what you can bring back to us. Just being a devil's advocate here a bit, we could potentially save some money and do, if we did both splash pads, say that 3 times, in conjunction with each other when we did the Garrison Park, if we did the Centennial at the same time, because then you save the mobilization costs and things like that. So that's one additional option out there.
Then I need to back up and move to rescind the motion on R3 and make a motion that the city manager accept RFPs for a splash pad up to $250,000.
Motion has been amended. Second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
That's the reason I sort of wanted the city attorney to review this. That way we would know if everybody runs offer, if we get some prices on it. We'd know what we'd be looking at. We don't know what we're going to be looking at.
Well, we had, just FYI, we had discussion when we were discussing the grant, and basically we asked, you know, what, can you get a decent splash pad for $1,000? They said, yeah, you can get a pretty good one.
Right, that's everybody I've talked to, yeah, so, anyway.
But again, on the flip side, and maybe the beauty of it is, if you did them separately, you know, you don't want to have two splash pads exactly the same anyhow.
Yeah.
So you want.
You can put different water features on it.
Right, so, you know, since it doesn't want to have done the other, I suppose. The only benefit you could get from the other one doing it with Garrison Park is you might save some money in mobilization.
Well, if you do two of them, you'd hope that the mechanics and the filters and all that would be interchangeable. Because most of those supplies come from Vortex, I guess it is.
No, there's actually several, and there seem to be a lot out of Canada for some reason or other. But if we do one by RFP, and we like what we see, then we could actually specify that we want them to do the other splash pad too. So you've got options.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Graham,
Pass.
Councilmember Wyatt,
Aye.
Councilmember Shanks,
Aye.
Mayor Mayberry,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Graham,
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.